Today, we will deep dive into the fundamental concepts of cloud computing and AWS. So grab your notebooks and get ready to increase your knowledge on cloud computing. Before we begin with the seminar, let me give you a brief about the structure of the seminar. So these are the topics that we will cover today. What is a cloud platform? What is AWS? Login and security. I am user, AWS Region, introduction to S3, and we are also going to deploy a simple HTML project in S3 as well. Then we are going to create an EC2 instance. And finally, introduction about GitHub and how we can utilize GitHub. So once we complete all the topics and we give you all the knowledge, there is going to be a Q&A session. In this session, you will get the opportunity to ask questions and clear all your doubts by your mentor. After we complete the Q&A session, we are going to start with the knowledge evaluation round. Now, this round is going to be exciting because we will host where your mentor will ask you questions based on what you learned today. This round will test how well you have understood the concepts discussed today.
So, as you know, this topic is little bit. I don't know like how much you know about cloud computing, AWS, Node.js, and deployment, but I like to make sure the topic to make it more interesting for you guys, so you at least get a proper understanding about it. And in future, if sometimes you need to perform in industry or any places, then you actually will be getting proper ideas and knowledge, and you can grab more interest on it. So that's my basic goal on that topic. This topic also suggested by some of the team members of internal team members and students, because sometimes a lot of webinars and seminars when I participate, so people ask about the cloud computing and things like that. And how the deployment. And to be frank with you, when Techno Exponent hires the engineers like you, like this year also we hired a lot of fresh engineers. So major problem we face, like they have a lot of challenges to understand about cloud technology deployments and other parts. So for that specific reason, actually, I conducted this seminar to give you the proper ideas. And maybe some of the cases or some of the time you may not understand the utility of that. But after today's seminar, you must understand that what is the utility of the cloud. And in future, like you will use it in your day-to-day life, and also it will help you a lot in your career growth. And of course, like when you are joining to the company, it will help a lot. Let me start with that. Besides any kind of performance, beside any kind of things. Okay, so let me start with what is the cloud computing actually. So this is my first goal to say. Anyone of do you have an idea what is cloud computing? Any of you from the participants, like you know about cloud computing, or you have little bit of knowledge about cloud computing or cloud server? I hope some of you have knowledge. So if someone has, it's good. You can share your ideas. Don't feel like you are saying right or wrong, because if you are saying something, then in that case you are actually making yourself ahead. So just let me know like if you are having any ideas on cloud computing. So initial days, when this cloud VPS, those server didn't come. So that time what used to happen, like if you want to make a website and if you want to run a website, then what actually you used to do? So initial days, what happens, like when we had a like a cloud VPC, those kind of things didn't come. So you may heard about, or you may listen some documentaries from Google and other Microsoft, like they used to have a small garage, and in that particular garage they used to put like all the hardwares, power supply and everything, and then from there actually they used to deploy their applications, and it been accessed by the other users computer. But problem is that this is called like in-house mechanisms to do. But problem is that If suddenly you are getting a lot of users using your website, then maybe you have a short of space, like you don't have a space properly where you can accumulate more and more hardware. Let's say you arrange some space, and let's say next day more and more. In that case, like you need to increase your server power, you need to increase your hardware and everything. And then finally, once upon a time, you once upon a time it will be too complicated for you and too complex for you to maintain the server and things like that, because 24/7 person needed, 24/7 power supply needed. If today you are getting a lot of users, so suddenly you need more and more server power, so you have to go and purchase those hardware. So it's kind of quite complicated for a small team or a mid-level team. So that's the reason cloud computing has come. So cloud computing is very simple. Like in on-demand basis, you can get the storage, you can get the compute power, you can get the IT resources and stuff like that. Then like another benefit, as much as service you will take, you have to pay that specific amount. So that is also one kind of advantage. So in a word, if someone asks you what is cloud computing, so in a word you can say it's a on-demand delivery of the compute power, database storage, your applications and IT resources based, and it has like pay as you go pricing model. So as much as you need services, you can pay. So that's the first point about the cloud computing. Moving on to the next point is there. So there are three kind of things cloud computing is there. One is like infrastructure as a services. Second thing is the platform as a services, and third thing is the software as a services. Infrastructure as a services. So this is like infrastructure as a services. So you can see like application, data, runtime, middleware, and OS. Operating system you all know, middleware you all know, runtime you all know, data and application. This actually you need to take care, and from virtualization to network, this will be take care by the soft server itself. Platform as a services, where application and data you need to take care, runtime to networking, all will be take care by the server. And software as a services, where everything will be take care by the server. Like today we are using Zoom. So Zoom is one of the software as a services. Google Drive, OneDrive, those are as a software as a services. There you don't need to do anything, you are just running the system on that. So that's as a software as a services. So I hope like you guys little bit of having understanding about the clouds. I don't want to get more details onto it, because I want to perform something to show you how AWS work, how things run on. So such kind of things. Now go back to the initial point of our AWS server. So if you see, this is my AWS account. I want to sign out one time for you, and I want to log in front of you to show like how this is work. So first of all, you go to the google.com, and once you go to the google.com, you search like AWS, Amazon Web Services. And once you do it, you have that particular account. So you click on that. And once you click on that, you will see this one. So this is a create, you can see a button called create account. And this is the AWS free tier. So what is AWS free tier? So AWS free tier means here actually you will be getting some the things we will be using mostly at the free tier or part of the free tier. So part of the free tier means while doing it, you don't need to pay anything. That's called a free tier. So AWS, some of the services at the free tier. Today, whatever things we will be discussing, you can use this in your real life as a free services. And after certain period of using, it will be as a paid services. So here is a button called create account. So you can go and create your accounts here. This is the create accounts things. But I have my own system. I have my own account, so I will be using my own account. But you can use you can create the account while today's discussion. Also, you can create account, or after the discussion also you can create account and can use it. But you have to add your credit card or debit card, whatever things you want, you need to add it. If you are crossing the limit of the free tier, then AWS will charge it, but obviously they charge you informing you. Some of the security stuffs need to be understand, that also I will be telling you, and please keep a note properly. Those of the security stuff is very important for the AWS, otherwise you can charge a lot, and which can hamper your day-to-day work. Like it can charge a lot, and to your account. So that's very important part. Like you keep concentrating on the security portions of your account as well. I click on the sign in features. When I click on the signing features, I come to this page and there is a two things. One is root user and another is IAM user. Just keep in mind, root user means like the accounts you are creating, that is a root user. And then if you are giving someone access as a sub admin, that are actually IAM users. So in our organization, what happened? Let's say company created root users, and once company created root users, company give it DevOps engineer as a sub users. So DevOps engineers can do whatever the company has asked them or permitted them to do. So that's also an important point to understand, like root user and IAM user. So when you are working as a DevOps engineers or a software developer, that time you mostly will be getting like a IAM users. So specific permission you will be getting, and that specific task you will be giving. Now, if you are also working as a DevOps engineer, so inside under you, whoever the performer or whoever the team member will be there, you will be giving them a specific task to do, not like a whole account access, because they can messed up something, because they can be junior or someone. So today, firstly, I will be logging as a root user. So I open this one. So this is my accounts. I just open it. And I will do the two-factor authentication. So this is also I will show in my mobile. There is a authentications will come. So I will be just putting up this authentications here. So this is my authenticator is there. So I logged into this particular account. This is my AWS console. Now what I will show you here, this is the services I recently visited for our day-to-day company activity. We use those services. And today also we will be discussing some of those services from here. But understand, AWS can do anything you need for your software engineering. So before going more in details, I will be showing you the security and stuff, what you need to take care specifically in AWS. Otherwise, you can be ended up with a highly charged. So first of all, three services is very important. One is EC2, another is RDS, and third is S3. EC2 is your server, RDS is your relational database system, and S3 is your simple storage services. So this three thing is important. IAM portion is the creating the sub users part, that also we will be discussing you today. But let's start with the security portion. So when I am clicking on the IAM user, actually in this IAM user, I will be seeing like root user has MFA, multi-factor authenticated. So this is the one of the security recommendation was there. So my account is multi-factor. Although if someone knows the username and password, they cannot actually log into my system. They need a multi-factor authentication as well. So that's the thing is important, like authentication system. And second, next is the like root user no active access key. So active access key means like I don't have any kind of active access key. Like if I somewhere leak that access key, then anyone can ended up to log into my account. That also I have deactivated. So mostly my account will be secure. I will show you what is the root user MFA and things like that. Before that, another very important point I need to show that you might not find in the lot of YouTube or tutorial portion, but is very important. Like if you are owning any AWS account, so every week must check your billing, which is very important. So you can see in the top there is a search bar, and in the search bar whatever you need you can search it. Whatever the services there you can search it. So let's say I search billing. So I type the billing portion and I get it here. I open this specific billing portion and I can see like what the billing I am getting it for. So imagine like I wanted to see the bill. So I click on that specific portion and April 23 is selected. So I can see like my account charge like a 54.74 US dollar, and I can see whatever I have been charged for. So let's say this is charged for $24 for relational database. So I can verify that whether this database I am using or not, or some other person is, because in AWS, some chances are there to your account get hacked if you don't maintain the proper security. It's not like very easy to hack, but if you don't maintain your proper security, two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication, it can be hacked. So, but here you can check it out, like whether you have using those services or not. If you are not using those services, so you can go and off that services. So that also, so this is like relational database. We have 4 region and this much of bill happen. In EC2, we have 3 region and this much of bill happen. In Route 53, this much of bill happen. So in a word, very simple, like I can make my account multi-factor authenticated. That is number one thing. And number two thing is very simple, like I need to check every week that what is my billing, how much billing I am getting it. So it is also helpful for me to understand that whether my account is properly used or not. So that's a few point to be checked in AWS. Now coming up the point of AWS, another very important point. So let's say you are a root account holder. Okay, so in your practice you are using a root account. So you created an AWS account. Then don't use root account always. So you do like you always do like a sub users account. Why? Because sub user account will be helping you to perform specific services only, not the whole services. Giving you one example. So imagine I go to the IAM user portion, I click on here, and when I'm going to the IAM users portion, so I can see here the user portion. So I click on that, and then I can create and add an users. So I go here, I click on the add users, I give some name. Let's say I given a name test. This is my name. Just this is the username I have given. Then I click on that. I want to create an IAM user. I checked it out. Then I can create a custom password. I can create an auto-generated password. Let's say I create an auto-generated password. Then user must need to create a new password in the next sign-in. It's recommended, but I can untick it as well, or I can check it as well, whatever. Let's say I unticked it and I create on the next. Now it asking me to add a user group. So I can create a new group, or I can, if I have some group, I can use any group. So I have created some group from before. So admin means full access, like super user have the access, they also having the same access. This is the admin group. EC2 is something like only EC2 access there. Today's course you will be understanding what EC2 is. Then this is different name I have created, like EC2S, RDS, RDSF, different name I have created. So how can I create this new group? I can click on here. I can create the group name, and then I can choose whatever the services I want, like administrator full access. Let's say I want EC2. So I click on the EC2. I can see here like EC2 container registration full access, EC2 read only options, EC2 full access, EC2 read only action, different EC2 accesses there. So I can choose any of them and I can create a new group for the AWS. So for now, what I am doing, whatever the existing access I have, I am using this. So imagine I select that EC2 full access to that specific users. So I click on, here is nothing like permission boundary. I don't have any problem. So I click on next. Then I click on create users. As soon as I click on create users, it will ask me to download the CSV. So what is this? Download the CSV, username and password and link. Whatever I am seeing here, I will see here as well. So I click on download the CSV, and this is very important. You need to keep it into the safe place because you will be giving to your sub user this account. So now I complete it, return to the user list. So new user has been created, Sabyasachi test, and group is the EC2 full access. And it last activity never been logged in. Now I want to logged in as that particular sub users. That's my goal actually. So what I will do here, I will simply open this Excel. This is my Excel. So what I am seeing here in this Excel, I am seeing an sign in URL, a username and a password that I am seeing. Let's try to log in with this particular URL. This is my account, main account there. So let's say I go to an incognito browser and I copy this one. This is my new users. So imagine this is my incognito and here I am using like a sub use. I'm adding here as a sub users. So as soon as I hit the link, so I see this page. Okay. Now this is my account ID already been there. Again, I am showing you what I did. I simply click on that specific link. This link account ID is there. So what I can do two things. I can either go to the Google, I can go to the AWS, I can log into their system. So I can sign into the system. Previously I shown you one root user, one IAM user. So I can choose, so here I can choose as a root user. If I choose as a root user, I will see this one which I have seen before, but I can choose as an IAM user. As soon as I choose as the IAM user, I need to put the account ID. So account ID is what? This is my account ID. This is 12-digit code is my account ID. Instead of having those problem, I simply copy this particular URL. I go to here, I paste in the browser. Automatically what will happen? My account ID will be here. My problem solved. Now I go to here, this particular Excel again. I copy this particular username. I paste it here. And second thing I did like a password. I copy this password and I paste it here. Now I sign in. So once I sign in into this specific account, I will see no recent visited site because first time I have logged in. And I go to my root user again. Let me see what is happening in my root user. This is my root user. If I refresh it, so I will see last activity now, MFA none. So I go to my sub user again. I'm not going to do MFA, but I will show you how you can do MFA here. So there are a lot of ways to do it, but let's say I go to the IAM user here. And once I go to the IAM users, my access been denied. Let's say I go to the S3. Again, I will see my access been denied. Can you tell any one of you, can you tell why this is showing my access is denied?
The
Anyone of
permission
you?
was for only EC2. And we had
Exactly.
to.
Yeah, exactly. It's very nicely you said because condition only was to EC2. So I click on that EC2 access. And if I go to this EC2, so I see my EC2 is running. I can change any of that particular section and I can see like my EC2 is running here. So this is the way I actually can give the access. I will show you how MFA been there, but let me a little bit proceed through on it. So this way, what the benefit I will get? If I give my user access to someone else, then someone will not get other part of the things. They only go to the EC2 part or S3 part, or if I give someone admin access, so they get the admin part. So that way we can define the permission actually. Now in that case, let's say that particular user, if I go to this particular, this is my, okay, another important point is there. If I am in a sub admin, so what I will see, and what if I am in a super admin, what I will see. So this is my super admin part, and in incognito I have a sub admin part. So where account ID there IAM user is showing in this. And if I go to the super admin, there is no some such IAM user or something. So I'm in a super admin. Now, as per the like a MFA part, what we can go here, So just for this is, you can do it in home easily. So you can go to the IAM users, to go to the MFA part, multi-factor authentication part, and then you will see these are not filled up. So you click on that, and then step by step process there. You can use like any MFA devices, or you can do simply like a Google Authenticator app. Those Google Authenticator app you can install to your system, and you can complete your MFA part there. So this is normally security measure, because every account right now have two-factor or multi-factor authentication, and that's the reason MFA is important to put it here. Now coming up to the point of region. Region section is important. You can see, I see here global, and other region is deactivated. Now if I go to the EC2 one, I will see region is selected. If I go to the North Virginia region, so yeah, I come here and I see I may have some instance here, 2 instances here in North Virginia. But if I go to the Mumbai region, there is no such instances there. So what actually the instance are, and why we will be using instance? This is little bit of technical things. You need to understand it, what instance it is and why we will be using instance. So instance is something like, imagine like your website users are India based. So you have to find out the most short or most nearest instance, or sorry, most nearest region for your instance. Then the latency issue will be solved. So imagine your most of the user is serving in US, and you have taken an instance on Mumbai, then the latency issue will be more, rather than you can take the US regions. So if east part of your instances, your user base is the east part of US, so you can go east part. If it is the west part, so you can go to the west part. So this way we can choose instance. Now it may happen that the place you are there, or your traffics are there, that particular place, no such instance there or data center there. So in that case, what you need to do, the shortest, wherever the shortest location instance is there, you have to select that. It's not like, let's say we are from Kolkata. Now Kolkata, my user is in Kolkata. Now I don't see any Kolkata users there. Kolkata region there. So I have to choose whatever the shortest region of Kolkata, that I need to check it out. So specifically region portion is very simple. Like, to mitigate the latency issue, we need to have a instance. We need to set the region. So if it is your instance of EC2, if it is the instance of RDS, so region selection is very important to mitigate the latency issue. So that's the thing, is the region. So let me summarize whatever we have learned so far. So I have talked about what is cloud platform, and why cloud platform is important. So if I little bit tell you what in a word, why cloud platform is important, because of, if you take any in-house services for your server, it is much more costly, rather than if you take the cloud platform, because as much as services you need, you will be paid for that. And there is an option like you can easily upscale your server. Today, let's say you have 100 user visiting your website. Tomorrow, if it visit like 1 million user, so you can easily upscale your server, and you don't need to take any kind of extra time or extra effort for that. It's a single button click, it will be helping you to do it. So that's the cloud platform benefit. AWS, what is AWS? Is simple Amazon Web Services, which help us. This is one of the popular cloud platform. Also, I want to mention you, like Amazon, Google Cloud, and Azure, 3 are the popular, but Amazon having a more stake right now, because they are having lot of services. Amazon has overall 200 plus services right now available in their service list. but every couple of days or week they are increasing their services. But right now 200 plus services available in all of the zone, and some of the specific zone they may have more than that, 250 to 300 services available also. So lot of services are very helpful, like we can, their services like EC2, RDS, S3. Beside that also they have lot of services there, like which help us for a machine learning, IoT, and like as a platform, as a services also we can use for their services. So that is like Amazon part I have talked about. Second thing is the login and security. So there are two portion. I already had an Amazon account, so I didn't create an account, but I told you how to create account there. You guys can simply create account into the Amazon. Next thing is that login and security. Once you logged into the system, then you have to take care about the security. Security is the important part, like MFA security is very important, multi-factor authentication. And also I have told you is very important point that every week you take care about your billing, that how much billing is happening. If you are not using your services, that billing should be 0. If you are using your services, then billing should be small billing, you will get it. But make sure like your account is not using by any unauthenticated person, and then you ended up with high billing. That also you have to take care. Always better to use the IAM users. I showed you how to create the IAM user. You simply go here. I'm again repeating this simple portion. You go here, click on IAM, and you see your IAM users here. You can create an IAM users, and then you can give a permissions of your IAM user that what specific services your IAM user need. So I have created that specific IAM user. I attached some of the services like EC2 full access. So specifically that particular services that particular IAM user will get, if other services they will not get. Now second thing, now another point important, like if you are a root user, then also for some of your services you must use the IAM users. Rather than save your account, root account, don't use much, use IAM users. So whatever the permission you need, you create a user for your own, and then specifically perform that task, you use that specific accounts. So let's imagine you created an account, and in that account you need EC2, S3 and RDS. So give 3 only. Other services you don't give. So your user cannot use the other services. Like if some unwanted person entered your account, so they cannot use it because only that 3 access there. So that part I have talked about that. Then I come to the AWS region. So AWS region is very important to have, because some of the services region specific, some of the services are not. Like IAM is not a region specific. It doesn't have any latency issue or something. So that's the reason it's showing global. But if any services are the region specific, then you need to select the region and you need to create that particular portion. Like EC2, RDS, S3, those are the region specific service. So specific region, you can see that what kind of what kind of particular region you will be creating the bucket, you will be creating the EC2 instance and things like that. So that the part I have so far explained to you. My next part would be like start with S3, but let me know so far if you have any questions and if you have any doubt or understanding issues, whatever I have said like last 30 minutes. So Tim, I want little bit of contribution from your end. So tell me like if you have some of the doubt, or if you don't understand so far things, or things are too complicated for you. Any one of you, I would give like, I will have like 2-3 minutes I need 2-3 minutes interaction from you.
Sir.
Go ahead.
What is what's the cap of a free tier account of AWS? Like how much will it tolerate at a certain point? Like if somebody uses a free tier service, how much will it go till it charges for any credit account or any billing?
Yeah, it's a good question. And when I will be creating the EC2 account, I will show you. But AWS says that they have a 12 months free tier services. Okay. But to be frank with you, it doesn't happen. Why? Because it will happen to you. You have to little bit take care about it. So when I create a particular instance, EC2 or something, then what is happening, like it actually charge you, actually it runs 24 hours. So if it runs 24 hours, then 24 hours into, let's say 30 days. So monthly, almost 720 hours been served. AWS has some caps, like they say 1 year, but if your server is extensively using or little bit of using, then also they give you a, they actually, after a certain period of time, they send you an email that your server has 85%, 80% or 70% has been used. So I would recommend you, if you are using free tier services, then make sure that whenever your server is needed, you are doing some work or you are showing some website to your friends, that time only you make it on. Other time, make your server off. I will show you in there how to shut down and things like that. If you do that, in that case, you can run a long time. Otherwise, it will be, in my experience, they say 1 year, but within a month, if your server is running all time, so within a month, like their free tier eligibility gone, because they have a upper limit of that. Like if this much of hours you've been spent, then your free tier limits will go. So that's the for a beginner level, you need to do this practice for your helping purpose. Anyone more has any questions so far I have discussed?
So, sir, why do we basically use Amazon Web Services?
Okay. So basically, it's important part that why we use the Amazon Web Services. So Amazon Web Services normally been used for deployment for any project. That is a basic concept of that deployment for any project. So imagine a company is building a software or a web applications or a mobile application, whatever. So let's say the web application they are building, so or mobile application they are building. So API part or the front end part of the web application, they need to deploy to the server. If they are deploying to the server, then is very important. They need a specific server or a specific system where they can upload the project and their user will be getting access through a link. Let's say if you search, simply if you search, let's say I search technoexponent.com. So as soon as I search, so this is our website been rendered. Now when our website is been rendered here, so what we are seeing it, like lot of contents are coming. Now my system is the client system or client side system. We can say it's the client applications. So client applications get the data from the server side, and that server we can get it through any server service provider. Amazon is one of them. Now why Amazon or why cloud server? Why Amazon, Google Cloud or something else? Why not like any of the normal server where share server or something? So what benefits we get? So imagine that today Techno Exponent has every month 40,000 visitors. Now tomorrow suddenly his visitor goes high up to 1 lakh or 2 lakh or maybe 1 million. How we can serve those clients or serve those customers? Because our server has a limit, because let's say it has 2 GB RAM, that much of hard disks, sorry, that much of bandwidth been set. So imagine your home system. So your system has, let's say 8 GB RAM and let's say 2 TB hard disks. Now tomorrow you are building some complex applications and 8 GB RAM is not enough. You need a 32 GB RAM. So what you need to do? You need to take your laptop to the service provider or to the servicing center, and then if your laptop has a slot, of putting extra RAM, so they will put the extra RAM. But if they don't have the don't have any slot to putting extra RAM, so what they will do, they cannot do it. You have to change your laptop, correct? Right? If you don't have
Yes,
the
sir.
yes, so what now you don't have any option, like one button click you will change it. If you do a manual server, then it's the same thing. Like you have to take your server to the server service provider, and you can ask them whether can you upgrade it to the 4 GB RAM. So what they will do, they will create, or 32 GB RAM, they will create another server for you and they will give it to you. Imagine that in your laptop there are a lot of data. Now you got a new laptop, so you have to transfer all the data to the new laptop. It's too much hectic. Maybe you need couple of days to do it, maybe a week or to do it. If you are doing an important project, so all the project file transfer and everything, it's too laborious. Now imagine that your laptop has enough slots. Just you go to the service provider, they just open your laptop, put it into the another slot, there is a RAM, and your laptop become like a 32 GB. Now your hard disk need like a you have like a 500 GB hard disk, you need like a 2 TB hard disk. So simply they will upload the hard disk, add the hard disk without any changing the laptop. So this kind of facility any cloud service provide. So one button click, you will upgrade the RAM, upgrade your hard disk, or upgrade your computing power and everything. So that's the reason we use the cloud service. Now why Amazon? Because Amazon, this is the reason why we are using cloud service, not like a normal server. But questions come, why Amazon? Reason because of Amazon is not, I would not say cost, because Amazon and Google Cloud, Azure, they have almost the same cost. But Amazon having a lot of services which actually helps you to get many things. Another option is also there, like if you are doing any kind of projects on Node, React, Python, or like Java, then Amazon is good. But if you are doing any kind of project in .NET, then go in with Azure, because they have a lot of tie-up, because this is a Microsoft product. So they have a good tie-up with the .NET things, like documents, Excels, those are very handy to in the .NET server. So in Azure server, that's the reason you will be using .NET in that particular case. In particular .NET if you are using, so Azure you will be using in particular case. But other part you can use like in Amazon. Now from my experience, I would say, like if you are using any kind of medical industry app, then Google Cloud is good, because they have a lot of services of that. That is the reason you have to be a cloud architect, and slowly when you will read all those things, like what Azure has benefit, what AWS has benefit, what Google Cloud has benefit, then you will be understanding it. But cloud server, why you will be using, I hope you are clear with the answers. Anyone have doubts, so I can clear it out. I hope up to that you guys get a clear understanding. Now I would show you like what is S3 and how we can create a static site in S3. That's very important part. So this is important because of lot of companies deploy the static site into the S3 using like Angular static site, React static site. That also you can upload to the S3, because S3 your cost is low. Where you have a static site, so use S3. No need to use like EC2, because it will increase the compute power, it will charge you a lot. So better use like S3 if your static site is there. I will show you how to do it, and you also guys can try it through the S3. So S3 again is a global service. Okay, it's not any region specific service, because it's a global service there. So what I will do it here, so I will be having like like I go to here and I will be creating a bucket here. So imagine I create a bucket. So I create my bucket for static site. This is, So here I can select any specific region where my bucket would be. Here I see the global, but there I cannot change it. But here I can choose like which specific region I want. So if I want to deploy any static sites, I will be choosing any specific bucket. So let's say I choose Mumbai region is there. Now ACL enable is something like ACL disable and ACL enable. This is, I will be explaining it through this portion, but I will do the ACL enable because my system, because I am trying to deploy a static website. Then this is the portion is the block all the public settings. So I check it and make it unblock. So my static site can be, accessed from anywhere. For that, definitely I have to acknowledge it. So I acknowledge that particular portion. This is very important portion, bucket versioning. What is this actually, bucket versioning? Why I am saying important portion? Because few days back in a project, this saved us a lot. That's the reason I want to stress that point. What is bucket versioning? So bucket versioning is something, imagine like in S3, you have uploaded a file. Let's say name is like file.pdf. Now, or let's say, let's say cv.pdf. Now, when next time you upload same name file, then normally what happen? It's overwrite. Your previous version has gone because you have overwritten the file, right? This normally happen. If your Windows also, if you have same file name and if you upload it, it show you a warning. And if you approve it, then your previous version been overwrite. That's the very complicated portion there. But let's say you have a client files and your developer by mistake updated the same file, same name file in that specific bucket, then your previous version got lost. And it's a huge mess for the development team has been done. Now client is asking for the old version of the file, which you cannot provide. So if your bucket version is enabled, that means you can each of the version, let's say I uploaded one file, it have a one version. Then next file been uploaded, second version been there. So you can anytime go and track back to your last version. That's the reason, that's the benefit we got, the bucket version enable. So remember, in S3, bucket version enable is very important factor. Now I click bucket, create bucket here, and my bucket would be created. So yes, my bucket has been created. So I open this bucket and I can upload some file. Let's imagine I upload some HTML. I will upload some HTML code there. So show you what is there. So I have some HTML already there. I will show you. It's a very simple HTML I have done. This is one HTML and this is another HTML. Do you guys have any HTML ideas or you don't have? I can show you the little bit of code. What is there? It's very simple HTML I have created. So this is my one HTML is there and this is another one. Sorry. So just a moment. So yeah, this is another one is there. Okay. So let's say first I go with the about one. So about one, I simply, from W3 School, I copied that and I put this is about page and this is about us. And this is like an simple href I made to link it to the index page. And this is like index page. And here I simply copied that some HTML and then like I link it to the about us. And if I run it, so I will see this is the index page, hello world this. So if I go to my console and if I change hello world word and I save it and then I go back to the browser again, so I will see hello world one, simple, nothing complicated HTML. So I save that one again and if I refresh it, so hello world one, and if I go to the about us, then it will be about us page. So this is simple HTML, I have done it. Now what I will do here, I simply I simply upload the HTML folder here. So I can upload folder and file, whatever I want. So imagine I upload a folder. So I go here and I see HTML and I upload this particular folder. Now my permission section is there. So I wanted to have like a public access, like my files can be accessed from public. So read only access I will give it to you definitely. So I just check it out and I upload it. Now once I upload it and I click on that specific files, index file, I will open it and I will go to the permission section. I will edit the permission section and I see this is read access is already there. Everyone has a read access, is good. I go to here, I go to about us page and I go to permission. I click on the edit and I see it also having a root access. So I understand it and I make the save change. And if I go here in index page also, I go to the permission section, I edit it and I see it, I understand it and I save changes. Now this is my object URL. I click on that. Oh, sorry. Let's say I open it. I click on this. I see my page is there. I go to the about us. I go to the home page. This is my live site got ready. So if I send you the link into your chat, you all can open and you can see this is our site. So you can have the multiple page on this website and your static site been ready and deployed within a couple of minutes. You can check it out, that static site been ready. Now let's imagine I want to create another files here. So simply what I will do, I will go here and I will click add new file and I save it simply services. Let's say I do service and I click on here HTML and I saved it. Okay. Now simply I copied this HTML from index, I save it. I put it here service. And let's say I put it like to index HTML and I done it. Now what I will do, I will go to my bucket, simple. I will go to this HTML folder. I will go to upload. I go to files and I click on services and I open it. I need a permissions. So I grant access to the public access. I understand and I upload it. So now I go to here services. I will check out the permissions. I will go to the edit. Yes, permission there. I understand and I save it. Now I go to here. Yes, my services page is uploaded. I click on about. I click on about. I click on home, about. And if I want to go to the services, so I can go to the services as well. So you can see now little bit change. I want to make change in the website. So services. So here I need to write down the little home. And here I also can add like a services link. And here I do like a service.html. So I saved all those pages. 3 pages I have saved. Now I go to my bucket again. So I closed it out. This is 3 folder I have uploaded. So what I will do, I can delete 3 of them. So I simply go, I would show you how to delete it. So I have to copy this permanent delete portion and I delete the object completely. And then I close it and I'm under the HTML. So I upload it. I want to upload add files. So I go to here, I select 3 files and I upload it. Permission portion, I again go and I grant access and I saved it and I upload it. Once I upload completed, I closed it. I open the index page. I check the object URL. I opened it and my object open. I click on the services. It's my service page. I click on home. I click on about. I go to about page and I go to the home page. So now if I give you this link, I give you this link, you guys can open and you guys can see my website has been up and running. It's ready. So just imagine, like, if you want to create a website for you or a CV for you, how easy it will be. Even you can upload any PDF file, you can upload anything. So if anyone asking about yourself, so you can actually create a one-page website through HTML, upload to the S3 and show it to the server. Understood the process? Anyone has doubt for
Yes,
how
sir.
we can upload to the files and things?
No, sir.
So it's very simple step what I am talking about. You actually can literally can upload any static site to the server and you can upload it to the server and you can, make your site ready by in couple of minutes. If your HTML is ready, in a couple of minutes you can deploy it. Now thing is that how you can delete this bucket actually. This is also important point because when you are creating any services, you must need to delete something. So I will show you how you can delete this bucket. So you go here to delete bucket. You first need to delete that whatever inside this bucket. So I want to delete the HTML file first. So I have to type permanent delete, but we will normally copy paste. So we delete that object there. I closed it and then I come to the bucket. I will select that specific bucket and then I will be creating delete. But this is very important in AWS. You have to make sure that you really want to delete because it's actually, we cannot redo it. If we delete it, so it's gone. So that's the reason what we are doing. We have to copy paste or you have to type it and I click on delete bucket and it's been deleted. So now my bucket has been deleted. So now little bit of I'm summarizing what I did with bucket. So I created a bucket. Bucket is very important because it actually storing all the static assets. If we are building in a dynamic site, we are uploading our files, Node.js file or React file or like a PHP file, Java file, Django file, whatever the files, project file we are uploading to the EC2. But the static asset always we keep to the S3. That's the reason S3 is very important. And also S3 is important because of uploading the static site. I would like to tell you a very simple story. In the Techno Exponent, like it's happened like 1.5 years back. So one of the DevOps, one of the candidates, one of the software engineer has joined. So DevOps team or DevOps engineer is asking him like, please upload everything, those static or asset into the S3 bucket. He was complete all like what is S3 bucket is. Then DevOps engineer made him understand and things like that. It was little bit tough for him to adjust it couple of days, and then finally he put lot of pressure, work, lot of effort, and then finally he understand. But what I'm trying to do, like all of you will be going to join in an industry soon, maybe in couple of years or maybe in 1 year, 2 year. If you are in a first year, then 3 years. But if you start your journey from now related to that, then it will be handy. Imagine that tomorrow you are practicing the Java Spring Boot, like a server-side programming or Node programming or React programming, whatever. It's very important that you understand that how you will be interacting with the DevOps engineer. And some of you also maybe choose your career as a DevOps engineer because it's very lucrative career right now as a DevOps engineer. But whatever it is, If you are choosing your path as a software engineer, stick with the coding, or maybe server engineer, or maybe DevOps engineer or cloud engineer. All the cases, like is very important that you should have those knowledge. S3, why I give lot of stress in S3, because S3 is a very integral part of AWS. Not only like it's give a quick services, also it helps to deploy all the static asset to the S3. That's the reason is S3 is very important. So I hope that S3 part is little bit clear for you. If you have any kind of doubt on S3, so you can let me know. I will talk more about S3, or I will be shifted to the next point. Are you guys up to that? You guys clear, or you want to learn more about something in S3? Any doubts? If not, I would be moving to, or if you are having little bit understanding facing problem to understand the real life situations of S3, then also you can tell me that how really you will be introduced using S3. I can tell you, I said you some of the part, but still if you are looking after this, so you can ask me that this is where this is the portion I'm not understanding in S3.
Sir,
Go ahead. Yeah.
You said that all the static files should be uploaded into the S3 while the dynamic ones should be on the EC2. So then
Correct.
how does the internal routing will work? Because, in frameworks like React and Django and all, they use some kind of routings to, access the static files. So if
Yeah.
the static are stored on another side and the other part of the frameworks are stored on another side, how does that work?
Okay, so basically in Django, Node.js, React, Java Spring Boot, every project, let's say you are building an web applications, okay, and then like your CSS, your images, those you will be putting up to the S3. Because when you are putting up to the S3, because it's internally in the AWS, you have to give the permission only. That we means, like in EC2, you give the permission to the S3, you have to give the permissions, and EC2 can access it. Like I given a permission, public permission, so all the as I send you the link right now, I deleted that. That's the reason you will not get access of the link, but you could click on the link and you could see my site is opening, like I shown you. So all the assets you actually can call from EC2 instance. That won't be any issues. Like from EC2 instance, you can call CSS file. In React, full provision of that. You can call like image file and everything. There will be no problem. And why you cannot keep into the EC2, that also I'm saying. EC2 has the internal memory limit. It's 30 GB memory limit. You can increase it, but normally it's 30 GB memory limit. Now you have lot of images. You have lot of assets files. Let's say you are building a social networking kind of platform. So a lot of images would be there. You are building a, let's say Naukri or Times Job kind of platform. Lot of CVs will be coming. You cannot accommodate in this 30 GB. You have to have in S3 in a separate storage. So that's the reason it will be there, and you definitely, there is a provisions that you can definitely link it up. There would not be any issues. Just you have to take care about the proper permissions. Now coming up to the point of EC2 instance, that is our next goal to talk. So EC2 is very important. You try to do it, understand it properly, what EC2 is and how we will do it, the EC2 portion. So you can see in Mumbai region, my no instance is running. But if I go to the any other region, let's say I go to the North Virginia, so I can find 2 instances running. So company other team member has uploaded some of the instance in North Virginia. So, but yeah, 2 instances is there, and Mumbai there is no instance. So I go to the Mumbai region and I want to create an EC2 instance here. Very simple. I will go here. I will be creating a launch instance button simply. I will be giving an instance. So I given my instance 1. This is I given. Now here is lot of OS is there. But normally Ubuntu we will be using. So I select Ubuntu. Now it is very important, like free TR eligible. So my Ubuntu if this 2 server I choose is free tier eligible, otherwise it's not. So for testing purpose, I will be doing free tier eligible. But if other cases, I can use other things. So right now I create free tier eligible. Now this is instance type. So instance type what? Like I can see here I am using T2 micro, which is free tier eligible. T2 is small is not free tier eligible, and it's showing like what is your prices, on demand prices. It's showing like, this is like per hour prices. So per hour means as much as long your instance is running, that much you have to pay as a per hour basis. So this is T2 medium. You can understand this is T2 medium is there 4 GB RAM memory. 8 GB T2 large, X large is 16 GB, 2X large 32 GB. So that way different thing is there. So I just put like a like a T2 micro because this is a free tier eligible. Now there is a key pair thing, so I can generate new key pair. Initially I will not have any key pair, so I have to generate a new key pair. So I can give any key pair name and I can choose the PM file. I can create the file. That is the key pair eligibility. So key pair, very important. You have to have the key pair properly stored into your system, because if you lost the key pair, then you cannot open that instance. Very simple. If you lost the key pair, you cannot open this system. So it's something you cannot lost it. So key
Sir,
pair. Go ahead.
yeah, is there something like GitHub access to the account to Git?
No, key
Like,
pair. Yeah, key pair is not for the GitHub access. Key
I mean,
pair
it's
is,
similar to that. Yeah, that's what
yeah,
I.
it's similar to that, but there is another thing in GitHub. Actually, you can create the key and you can access the same account. But here problem is that if you lost the key pair, then you cannot use that instance. Then what the solution? Anyone have idea that if we lost the key pair, what is the solution? It's complicated, I shouldn't ask the question, but I just curious that if anyone can tell top up your head, how can we do it? Like let's say you lost
Root
the key
user,
pair.
to let the root user know, and then the root user will manage the EC2 instance.
No, that cannot be done. I'm telling you. So just giving you a real life example. Let's say that you some way lost the key pair of the instance. Then what you can do, you actually create as a root user, you actually create snap of the instance. So you create the snap of the instance, and that particular instance key pair and you can log in. So that way you can do. So you create the snap of the instance, but it's very complicated. No DevOps engineer would like it. No software engineer would like it. So please keep the key pair very safe and secure place. You cannot lost it. That's the major point. So I have the key pair access already, so I will not create it because again I have to keep it in mind. But you can generate, you first time you need to generate key pair is a very simple steps, like put pair name, RSA, PM file and create key pair. Simple. Now PPK and PM, there is two things. If you are using putty kind of system, then PPK is important, but PM is the open SSH kind of. So I will be using in this webinar Bitwise. So for me, PM file is important, and in industry, many of the cases Bitwise been used. Some of the cases PPK also, putty also been used. So PM and PPK both important, but based on your company need or based on your own requirement, you can choose it out. But for this instance, I will be creating the PM file. So I have the one like a PM file, so I choose that one. Now what I will do, I will be selecting like security group. So you can create a security group or you can choose a security group. So security group is something where you can put SSH access, HTTPS, HTTP, like from where you want your traffic to come. I have one security group, so I am using that security group. So that is like security group for test that I created. I will be showing you what rules I've been set here, but you can create your own security group. I will be showing you that too. Now in advanced settings, there is a lot of options there, but right now you don't need to take that much of things that what in mean there. You simply go and launch your instance. So I go to the instance, and in the meantime, I show you a little bit of security groups. Let's instance been ready. And in the meantime, I go to the security groups. So I have a lot of security groups been created, but let's say one security group which I have been added, I will be showing you what is there. So how you get the security group? You go to here, in beside the instance, you can see a security group. You click on that, you come to this security group. So in security group, there is a inbound and outbound rules. So inbound rules like, like 443, 4000, 22 and 80. This is for HTTP, SSH for 222, HTTPS for 443, and 4000 is a custom port where my node or Java project I can run, because many of the cases you can see, like, many time you have to run a specific port some file, like, node who are familiar with node or Django or Java, sometimes they need to run on a specific port. So that's the reason port is important to have. So that's the reason I given like a port 4000. And outbound rule, all traffic are allowed. So anyone can access the outbound rule. And inbound rules, from those ports actually we can access the system. So that's the inbound and outbound difference. If I need to change, I click on the edit inbounds and I can change it. That's the way I can do it. And in edit outbound also I can go and I check the edit, click the edit outbound rules. I can create add rules and I can delete rules. That way I can do inbound and outbound rule. I can change it out. I'm expecting like security group is very clear. So my suggestion, always create a security group before you create instance. My security group already been created. That's the reason I didn't do. But if you need to create a security group, so you have to click on the security group. You have to put that. You have to put inbound rules. You have to put outbound rules. And then you have to create the security group. And your security group will be listed here. Now, while you're creating instance, you select that specific security group only. That's it. Because it's a webinar, time is constrained. So I'm just showing you the path, but you can practice it by yourself creating it. My instance is now up and running. And whenever I create an instance, remember it's a server. So each server has an IP address. Like each client, your system has an IP address. If you go in Google and if you check like my IP, it gives you an IP. What is my IP? This is my IP. It gives you an IP. So each server also have an IP. Each of your system has an IP. Each of the server has an IP. Client side has an IP and server side has an IP, and they are actually communicating this IP address actually. That's it. Like if I have to send something to your home, so I need to know your postcode, your address actually. Similar way, if server need to send something to the client, needs to have a address, and if server client need to anything to the server, so need to have the access. So that's the thing, we are having the IP address is the key factor of that. Now my instance has been running. I click on that instance. If I click this particular IP address and then try to open it, I will see nothing, because nothing is there. Yeah, my site is not reaching out. That is there. So what I need to do, I need to connect it like with my system. I need to connect through SSH, and I need to install something to my server. Now many people ask me, sir, whether I can use this connect button or not. So I can do it, but this is not an industry practice. Industry, you should have a system, SSH access. Maybe you use Bitwise or Putty, then only you connect your instance. That's the normal industry practice. Let me check it out. So I go here. Let me check it out if I can log into this system. Yeah, I have logged into this system, and I open that SSH access. I put it clear, and this is my SSH access. I have been there. So now what I can see, if I see like, if I ls, so this is my all the files and everything is there. Like this is my server. And what more I can do, I can also, through this Bitwise, I can also go to the file system. I can create a new SFTP, and I can also go to the file system and I can see this. So if I open, I go it here, I open it, I can see all those things what I am seeing here. Just you can see all the portion I am seeing here, what I am seeing here. So this is where I can work side by side. Like I can work on this file system as well and this system as well. For now, I am using this command prompt only. So I minimize it. Now what I will do here, I will install a web server. Do you guys know that any web server recommendation? Do anyone have any recommendation you have? Like
Something like Nginx or
yeah, Nginx is very nice web server. Nginx is very powerful web server. So we can install the Nginx. So what I will do, there are some comments in Nginx. So I will be just simply copy paste few comments. So for that, what I need to do, I need to, I can upgrade sudo. Simple way I can do it. So I copy paste some comment. This is, you don't need to recall, you will get in internet. So I hit that upgrade. So I see my system getting upgraded. I make my screen bigger. So it will be helpful for you to understand. I press yes. It takes sometimes a little bit of time. This is simply I run the comment of upgrade and it's just upgrading the system. That's it. Okay. Yeah, it is done. Now I will install the Nginx. This is simple command I will run. Sudo apt get install Nginx. I will run this command. I will press yes and my Nginx would be running here. I uploaded and it's done. Now I will check it out whether this run or it's installed or not. So I go to here. Then if I reload this one, this IP address, you remember the IP address I had 3.109.214 and 205, and this IP address, my Nginx. Previously it was not running. Now my Nginx been installed, so this page is coming. Now I need to see where this page is. I go to my FTP files here, and then I go to where www HTML, and I see this Nginx one. I can literally add anything in that particular page and that particular system will run. You remember a few minutes back, I created some HTML file. I will be trying to upload this HTML file and run the static site here. Let me see how it is working or not. So imagine I want to delete it. So if I press delete, are you sure? Yes. I cannot delete it. Why I can't delete it? Anyone have idea? Even let me try to forget about delete. I try to upload these 5 files here. Let me see what is happening. Failed. It's not uploading. Why? Anyone have an idea that why it's not happening?
No, sir.
Because I don't have permission on it. So I have to give permissions. So as a root user, I come here. I go to here, ls cd. Then I go to the here. Now I can give the permission to the HTML folder. Do you have this is simple, chmod 777 and the folder name. Let's say I given 777 permission right now. Now it's happened. Now it's permission been done. So try to delete it. So I go to here again. I try to delete it first. Yes, I could delete now. And I upload those 3 files simply. So I go here, I upload. Let me see what is happening here. Yes, so my index page run. This is the static file. I click about us, I click home, I click services, I click home. So you guys now also can open this link with me and see like whether you are seeing what you are seeing it. And let me know that if you see it here properly. You can open, I send you in chat, you can open the last link and you can see the site is opening. So this way also we can upload our static site. Check it out.
Yes, sir, it's open.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Correct. So this is also another way to do static site opening. Again, I'm repeating what I did the process. Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, but the IP address is visible.
Yeah, because I didn't connect with domain. It's a simple IP address is there. No,
Oh,
I didn't connect with domain because I said every server has an IP address. You are seeing technoexponent.com, you are seeing google.com, you are seeing yahoo.com. Actually, it has an IP address, which is the code. But we connect the domain because you cannot remember. Let's say Google IP address you can't remember. Techno Exponent IP address you can't remember, but name you can remember, right? So that's the reason we actually encapsulate the IP address through the name. That's it, nothing else. So actually using IP address, any site you can open, any site. If you know the IP address, that's it. So this IP address is publicly v4 IP address. This public IP address, we can open any site. So I'm repeating it what I did. I simply created EC2 instance. I allowed the traffic from HTTP, HTTPS, and also I allowed the traffic from allwhere. That was my outbound traffic. Inbound, my SSH can be connected in port 22. HTTP is connected at 80 port and HTTP is connected at 443 port. Also, I have given permission of one port that is 4000. Later on, when I deploy the node project, you will see what's the utility of that particular port. And once I did it, I connect my system with Bitwise because Bitwise has 2 panels. One is this is one panel, this is like a terminal, and this is like my FTP kind of file transfer protocol. So these two panels are there. These 2 panels I am using it for my own benefits, and I can upload any static site, any dynamic site through my system directly to this here and also from here as well. So this is the things so far I have done. Simple HTTPS, simple EC2 instance connections and things like that. Up to that, I hope you guys are clear. If any doubt, you can let me know.
So can we connect FileZilla here?
Yeah, I have connected FileZilla actually. This is HTTP is the FileZilla actually. Bitwise is one kind of FileZilla. FileZilla also you can connect. They are PPK file you need to use. But very straightforward way you can use Bitwise because most of the industry we use Bitwise and Bitwise is very helpful. It will be very easy for you to handle. It's a very easy software, community edition you can download and you can use it because you don't need to headache of like your putty and FileZilla and things like that. You simply use like Ubuntu here. You simply use the terminal here, and you simply use the FTP here, file transfer protocol here. That's it, simple. So both things you can access side by side. Now another important portion I want to tell you, my instance is running. Now if I don't want to use it, so I can actually stop instance. If you stop instance, then also your instance is not completely deleted. Your instance still will be there. Anytime you can start instance. But problem is that if you stop instance and start it, then your IP address will change. Got it? If you stop instance and then again start the instance, then your IP address will change. So again you have to configure it. So if you stop instance and start, then your IP address will change. Let me stop this instance and see what happens. So I stop instance. My instance stopped, and I can again connect instance. I can, let's say, I can start instance again. So as soon as I stop instance, if you run this one, you will see nothing is working. Just wait. You also can hit that link. You will see after some time it will show timeout errors. Now you can see it's loading and loading. If I open this in new tab, it will be a very clear idea to you.
Yes,
You can
sir.
see it's loading and loading. It's not opening. Now I want to start this instance again. So I click on and start instance. Now I reload it. I will see it's pending. It will take some time to start instance. Start. I click on that. IP got changed. So previous IP was this. If I run it, nothing will happen. IP got changed. Now if I click on this new IP, and if I hit it, now my site again up and running. You can see your previous IP is not working, but if I give your current IP, now this is my current IP, and if you hit it, the site is running. So every time you stop instance and start it, your IP will change. Now if I terminate this instance, I'm not terminating it, then I cannot, again I have to create everything. If I terminate it, instance completely deleted, all files, server, everything deleted. You cannot recover it. Terminate means simply you are deleting everything. Got it? Okay. Before start a Q&A, I will start one more very simple and topic which we will be discussing tomorrow more about it, like GitHub. This is my GitHub accounts. So how many of you know GitHub? Just tell few of the person. Yes, I know GitHub.
Yes,
Any
sir.
of you know GitHub? Any other?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's great. Great. So some of you know GitHub. It's very good. Now thing is that, like, if you don't know the GitHub, so I would say after this seminar over or webinar over, first go and create a GitHub account. It will help you a lot. It will help you a lot because it will be making your employer life much more easier, because they can understand whenever you are putting up the CV or you are joining to a new company. So you just simply give them your GitHub account access so they can see like what coding you have done. It's very simple. So I would recommend you, if you don't have the GitHub access, so today GitHub account, so today create GitHub account and upload your good code base there. Simply upload code base there. If you are working on Node, React, Python, C, whatever the language, just upload your good one project, one program, some of the programs you've done, upload it. So your coding structure will be improved slowly, because you can revisit your code and you can see it. So GitHub, what we can do, we can create projects, we can create repositories, we call repository, and those repository we can upload our project from our local to the GitHub. That's the simple thing we can do. We can create any project into our local, we can upload to the GitHub accounts, and from GitHub accounts we can upload to the server.
What, for example, if we don't use the EC2 instance, then should we just stop the instance or totally terminate it?
So
Like
if you
we
are
know
not,
that
go ahead.
that EC2 instance is like it goes on for 24/7 unless and until we stop it or delete it or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm telling you what is stop and what is terminate. So stop means you stop the EC2 instance. So it means your hourly billing stopped, but still the storage billing also AWS does, because your files are there. That billing still will be there. So if you are not using EC2 instance anymore, then you terminate it. But if you need that instance after a couple of weeks or couple of months, then keep it. Otherwise, you need to again set up everything. So my preference is, if you are not using EC2 instance anymore, that particular instance, you terminate it. If you are doing any, if you are using any instance, or if you are in future, if you need that instance in maybe in short, in very quick time, then you use it. You keep it. So that's up to your requirement. But if you are not deleting your instance, you are simply stop it, then also there are storage billing bin. They just deduct the storage billing, but not like a whole billing. So that's the important point. Any more questions from team? Now team, you should ask the question, because I will also ask the question.
So what was that ACL part?
Sorry?
ACL enable
Oh, okay.
part.
So yes. That's the important things what I said into the like that time in S3. So I will be little bit showing you in S3 what the ACL portion specifically. So it will be giving you the understanding. So ACL actually simply access control list. So I was creating a bucket that time, and I was showing you there is an so let me simply create a bucket, and ACL recommended, ACL disable, ACL enable. So what is ACL disable? So ACL disable means that I am not giving any permission to any users. Means all of you can see here is written, all object in the bucket owned by this account access to this bucket, and its objects specified using online only policies. So it means like if I make it disable, so this account only have the ACL access. But if I make it enable, then I can give access to the other user. I can make the public. So, but if I make the enable also, that time I was showing you any specific file, I can give read write access. I can give read access, write access to individual person group. AWS says ACL disable, but actually if you do the ACL disable, then you cannot upload the static side or something. So you must need to do ACL enable, but you need to take care about the, you need to take care about the proper access, that whether you are giving someone read access, write access or anything. So that the things you need to take care about it. Got it, Sudeep?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Anyone more have like any Q&A? Yes, go ahead.
yes, I was asking that I have one thing that I've never understood from any online tutorials or whatever, is that they talk about something like about it, scalability.
Oh
Like
yes.
what does scalability mean? Like say for example, we are creating an app. Then later we understood that our database can only handle about like what 200 users or any kind of interactions between them. How do we even know that database can only handle 200, and how do we increase that?
Okay.
How do we even know that our servers can only handle like 400 per second request and not more than that? So what does
Perfectly.
that even
Yeah,
mean?
perfectly good questions. It's very important question, and I would suggest you, all of you, listen it very carefully, because as an industry expert, this problem always I face, and I know I can tell you how we need to do, or how our DevOps team handle it. So basically, how you will understand is a very common questions. You, practically speaking, and you will be a little bit listening that, you will be a little bit disappointed as well, because you cannot understand. Why you cannot understand that? In which is your threshold limit? Simply you cannot understand. You cannot tell your managers, you cannot tell your non-technical person that you cannot understand, but literally you cannot understand. Reason is that you don't know how code is optimized. I'm giving you an example. We have a project called Hero Software. So it was a energy based process. So it was in a Java based applications. So the application, when we had a little user, like couple of hundred users, so our EC2 instance working, performing very well. Now it increased couple of thousand users, it having an issue. Then the product owner was asking like, make the scalability is high. We increase the server load. We increase the EC2 instance power, like T2 to T3, T3 to T, micro to, like a macro and things like that, Excel and things like that. So basically we understand from here monitoring. So from monitoring, whenever the application runs, you can understand that how your CPU utilization. If your CPU utilization is high, that means your server is not performing well. There is a couple of reasons behind it. Number one is your system is not properly coded. It not been properly coded. If it is not been properly coded, it will get lot of RAM. It will get lot of memories. So it's not actually optimized. Your system, your coding has not been optimized. You didn't follow the complexity part. You have used lot of nested loops. You have not follow. You guys are the complexity, like time complexity, space complexity, things like that, right? So you haven't followed those complexity things. That's the problem. Imagine that, but system developed. Right now you cannot go and change every part of the system. Obviously, optimization is a part of the software development process, but you cannot change it by night. Then what you can see what is your CPU utilization performance, what is your networks byte, what is your disk read section. Those you need to check it out. And once you check it out and you seeing it's all going high, then you can't do anything. You simply you have to enhance your instance. That's it. You have to enhance your instance. Otherwise you cannot do anything, because your instance actually having lots and lots of load. So you have to enhance your instance. You have to enhance your instance power. But remember, it's not a permanent solution, because like Hero Software I'm talking about, then we had couple of thousand to it become like a 1 lakh users. That time we had to optimize the system anyway, because there is a upper limit of the instance, because as much as you enhance your instance, your billing also will be high. You cannot charge client that much of high, right? Because client will say, why I will pay that much of amount of billing? Because it's a simple thing, no one can pay extra. So you have to optimize your system. So optimize your code. So now coming back to your question, how can you understand that what is the threshold value? Literally, you cannot understand, because you don't know how the system is coded. But if your system is coded properly, optimized properly, then like couple of thousand user can be handled easily. 1 lakh users also can be handled easily as Amazon. Even it is like you can T2 family or T3 family, you can handle it. Like Excel family, you can handle it. It's not an issue. But you cannot judge it before. Only you can see the monitoring issue. You can check the you check and monitor, and once you see it's getting higher, then you just increase your like system load. Sorry, you can increase your EC2 instance, or you can increase your database instance, kind of things you need to do. Now another question come, how you can scale it up? So scale it up means like you have to increase your server power. That's actually scale it up. Scale means if it is not the cloud power, then what you need to do, you need to create a replica server with bigger instance, and whole files and everything you need to copy paste there. Here you don't need to do. Here you can just increase your AWS
Oh, so
server.
that's what they mean when they say that we are migrating our servers or something like that.
Correct. So migrating means like what? Migrating means they cannot enhance the server power. So they are having in other server, and right now they have created a new server. So they are migrating one server to another server, all files, DB, and etc. That's called migrating. That is also one kind of task.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. If not any more Q&A, if any more Q&A is fine. Otherwise, I would be asking few questions to you. If anyone have more Q&A. Well, so I will be asking like 3-4 questions to you, whatever I have asked you, and I would ask our team members, internal team member, to note it down who is giving the answers, and based on that, your final gift will be awaiting for that. So after this session, first tell me that first question is that first question is that why we will using the cloud server? What's the utility to use the cloud server? Any one of you can answer it.
It reduces the cost to actually host the server for yourself. Not to mention you can actually be handle more users, because as cloud servers are more capable than running your local system. I mean, local system only has a just a basic requirement like maybe 16 GB RAM or anything. Even now 16 GB RAM is getting old because of high memory requirements of many softwares. On cloud, you can actually scale the storage of it. You can increase the instance. The computation power will also be more, because the servers use more advanced based cores that are only used for servers. Like
is couple of is kind of correct answer. Is scalability is very important in the cloud server. So that's the one of the important point.
And another important thing is your users could access the software from any part of the world, unless if you upload that on your local computer, the only one who can access that will be you, or if you lend your computer to any other, which will be a huge problem if you are going to build an application that you need, for public applications, for example.
Another thing has been put into the chat, like we can use the software and get wide range of server plus next to none hardware problem. It means that non-limited to any range of hardware. Yeah, that's also kind of proper answers. That's the reason we use the cloud server. Now tell me, like where we keep our static assets.
S3.
Okay. Yes.
S3.
S3 bucket we keep our static assets. Okay. Next question would be, like, any one of you can tell me, like, what is the security group? Security group. What is the security group?
You had the access to the the services of a particular service. Like AWS has many services like EC2, S3. So not all users will be like all level of users should be should be able to access all of that, because that will be problematic if everybody is accessing S3 root user, somebody is using EC2, and another one is again using the EC2 instance. That will be problematic for you and everybody on the organization level. So that is the the permissions are there to just restrict the person to the purpose for what it needs.
No, sorry, this is a wrong answer. Like I'm talking about EC2 security group, but I will be come back to the answers. But anyone else can tell what is the EC2 security group? Okay, I am answering this. Shormista, you can tell me, not like answering into the chat, because we can understand you better way. You can unmute yourself, Shormista.
Yes, sir. EC2 instance, it controls the inbound and outbound traffic for the instance.
Can you a little bit explain more, like what kind of inbound and outbound traffic I showed?
It allowed to reach and leave the resources that which is associated with it.
Any kind of, I showed something today, like this is inbound. So any of the port number you remember, Shormista, for inbound?
No, sir.
Okay, so I'm explaining you this portion, but Raj, that is the question you have said. I'm explaining a little bit like what is the what you are talking about, that is like an IAM users. but I was talking security group in EC2. So security group actually helps you, like your instance can be reached to a specific traffic. So if you can block specific country, or you can allow all traffic, that is number one, or you can only allow from specific traffic, specific IP as well. So this is for outbound rules. So your server can be accessed this portion. And last thing is that inbound rules. So from this IP and from this port number, actually, sorry, this port number, your server can be accessed. So anyone cannot access it. So if your program is running in 4000 port, so you have to allow explicitly 4000 port. Now some way I inserted in your server and put my some code which is running on like 3000 port, that cannot be performed. I cannot perform it because your inbound rule is not accepting 3000 port. Tomorrow's webinar, I will be showing you when I will deploy a node project in front of you. It will be handy for you. So that's the thing is there. My next question is that how do I connect my EC2 instance to my local system?
Using an SSH handler program software like Bitwise,
Perfect.
Gate OpenSSH or something.
Anyone else? Like anyone can have separate thought about it? How we can do it, or what are the methods we can do it?
If any, for example, in our local system, if we change any site, the previous change will be overridden completely. But in S3, if we, it's like a version. For example, the previous version will be named, especially let's say it's version 0. The next day we change a single file, that instance will be named as something like version 0.1 or maybe version 1. This helps us to go back to the previous version if any difficulty or any errors arises in the current
Perfect.
version.
Perfect. Anyone else want to tell it in a different ways or something? Okay, so this was overall part of these things. So I don't have much more questions. So tomorrow we'll be sending you a tomorrow's discussion. Whatever I said, that would be there. It would be a interesting topic. So I would recommend you guys little bit discuss it, understand it properly, and if any questions tomorrow, so you can answer it, you can ask me, so I can definitely answer you. And tomorrow's topic will be a little bit more complicated, and it would be I would try to make you understand, so it will be help you better. We'll do it like, okay. And second thing we will do, like how we can deploy a Node.js project with automatic GitHub actions, which is very important and crucial part. Many people in the industry level, they properly don't have ideas. So I just want to make sure you guys get proper idea about how we can deploy a Node.js project automatic to the server. So first I will show you that I have a Node.js project. How can I deploy into the server? So coming back to the point, I want to create an EC2. And I choose an Ubuntu. That's a free tier I have choose. And then I just choose a key pair which I had before. I have a security group, so which has security group for testing. I created it and I launch instance. So once I launch instance, I go to here and I go to like dashboard, and running instance will come soon here. My instance is getting ready. It take like a maximum 1 minute to instance to get ready. Yeah, so instance got ready. I can see the instance, and if I click on that, so I will get an IP address of instance. Yesterday I informed you, like, IP address of each instance is important. So if I open that, nothing will show because I haven't installed or anything. Each of the instance will have its own IP address. That is normal ways to be IP address, normal ways to have the server. Now I open that specific instance details, and then I copy that IP address. Yesterday I show you how you can connect with your Bitwise. So I copy that particular IP address and I paste it, and then I try to log in and accept this session for my login has been there. As soon as I log in, I get to this console panel, and also I get this SFTP. So these two things I got it. So right now I need the console panel only. So I just keep the console panel on here, and I will simply go like root directory, and like I see the ls, so I just go like a root directory here and then I click ls, so I get all those informations. Now yesterday I showed you how to upgrade your server and how to install Nginx. Again I'm repeating, Nginx is a powerful web server, and I want to show you how we can have like an Nginx to install one more time, so you guys have a proper idea about Nginx. So simply I have some comment. This comment you can search in Google and you can get it. This is simple, apt update and upgrade. So I done this update and upgrade. That is simple comment, everyone. You can get it in Google. So first I am updating my server, and then I will do like Nginx install. So let it to be complete the steps. This is actually eventually nothing to do, just we run the command and it started running it. And now I copy like an Nginx install command and I paste it here. That is sudo apt get install Nginx. That's it. And if I press yes here, it is sudo apt to get install Nginx. That's the command I have pasted, and then the full process has been done. Now my Nginx has been installed. So if I go here and open this again, I will see the Nginx default page that I yesterday also I seen it. Now simple I will put ls and I see like cd, then var, then www. So I get this one. And if I wanted to, yesterday also I given a permission to that HTML directory, because otherwise I cannot perform some action. So I do like this and I give the permission. So in this particular folder, I will see some of the index file is there, which is actually which is for the this is Nginx default page. For that, yesterday I have put some HTML code also, so you guys can remember. Now what I will do here, so tell me like if I have to deploy a node project, or let's say you want to deploy or you want to run any project, what step normally you follow? Any one of you, let's say you want to run a C project, you have got a brand new system and brand new laptop and you want to run a C project. So what you will do actually? Anyone one of you can answer it? What normally steps you follow? So you install the C compiler and then you run the code. Let me know if anyone does apart from that something. Okay, so I'm just coming to that specific part again, like what we will do here. So we simply actually install we need to, for running a Node.js project, simply we need to install Node.js in our system. So if I go here and if I search Node.js, and I will open that and I will see 18.16 is the latest LTS version and 20 is the current version. So you will deploy the LTS version. So if we deploy the LTS version to the server, so two ways we can do. We can download this version, and then for the not for the Ubuntu, sorry, not from the Windows, of course, for the Ubuntu, and then we can upload it. Another way we can do it, that is like I have said, that is also the like I can actually using curl, I will get the Node.js to my server directly. So this is like curl command. This is, you can easily find it, like 18x version I want to deploy. So using curl, I want to get from this source, I want to upload that particular Node.js file to my this directory. So I enter it. So this is simply I'm downloading the Node.js file, Node.js like installer to my system. That's it. Like here I did it. Like what I will do, I will simply click on there. and it will be downloaded the installer. Similar thing I have just done it. Even if I check like node minus version, you will see there is no version is there because command node not found. It can be installed. This is suggestion they are giving, but no installations. It's still been there. So I can copy that comment and I install the Node.js in the server. So I enter it and my Node.js install. So I one time again want to check version. Yes, my version is 18.16, which is the latest LTS version that has been installed here, 18.16. So this way I have installed my Node.js project. Okay, Node.js into the server. Now, so first of all, what I did, I create an EC2 instance. I just installed the web server Nginx, and then I have actually uploaded. I have actually installed the Node.js into the server. Now my next thing would be that in my local there is a project. How can I upload to the GitHubs? Yesterday I tell you to everyone should have a GitHub account, and what's the benefit of that? So GitHub simply give you benefit to make your code version control. So I just simply want to show you how we can have a GitHub. So let's say this is the project. Okay, I will show you later on how to create the Node.js project as well. But just for now, I have the project that is in my Node.js folder, and what I need to do, I need to upload it to the GitHub account. So your developer give the project to you in your directory. Now what you need to do, you need to upload to the GitHub account. So what you will do for that, you will go to the GitHub accounts here, and then you will simply create the repo. So my Node.js project is my project name. So I just copy it and I give the repository name. Yes, repository is available. Public and private, those things is important. Public means this project code will be viewed for everyone. Private means this is only for you. For initial cases, I will make it private, but you can do it public as well. Public means your code can be downloaded and used by anyone, and private means this is only for you and your collaborator if you give someone access of that. Now I create a repository. This is my first step. And then what I will do, I will simply go to the folder, and here I have installed a git bash. So git bash, you can also use your own command prompt, but git bash is very nice looking and it helps me to write code. So I use the git bash. So that is, you can find it here, git bash. This is the git bash account. This is, you can download for in your system. In my system, it is already there. So I just open that git bash one. Now what I will do, I will simply write git init. I'm initializing the git into my project folder. Then I will do git add. So git add space dot means all the file will be adding to my git. So just to be understand, like this is like git local, all my files been added. Now I will do git commit. So I'm trying to put it to my git heads. So git commit -m upload full project. This comment is important because using this comment you can understand that what you have done for particular this step. I hit it. Now I have to add the remote repository. So origin I need to add, means where I have to upload my project. So those I was doing in local. In the local, I was creating my git init. So I initiated the git. Then I add all the project files to the git. Then I committed the projects file, but yet not I have pushed to the server, or sorry, pushed to the git. So to push to the git, first time you have to show git, your local git, where actually you want to push. That's the line. Simply copy and paste this line. And as soon as you enter here, your remote repository been added. Now you type the command git push origin and your branch name. So git push, your branch name is master. So git push origin master. As soon as you do it, you will see your code has been uploaded. And if you refresh it here, you will see all the code, whatever was in local, it been uploaded. So I have uploaded now my GitHub code into the server. So I can open and I can check it out. Let's say I check open. So there is index, it is showing hello world. This is my first program. Okay. So let me open my code as well into the VS Code. So this is my code and this was the index page. Now if I change it here, I just keep hello world. Will it be reflecting here? No, it's not reflecting here. Do anyone know how can I reflect to here in my Git? It's I changed something into my local, but I'm not saying into the my GitHub account. Do you have any idea how can I change it to the how it should reflect here?
We have to add again the git add and the file name. Then
Exactly.
commit.
Correct. So I can add, I can like do git add, I can do file name or I can do add. So better to have the file name, but just for now I'm doing git add. Now I need to do git push. Sorry, first I need to do git commit. So index page change. This is my comment and I push it. As soon as I push it, if I refresh it, I will see it has been changed. So this is way I can actually push my code to the Git. Okay. Now what will happen? I need to upload that project from GitHub to my EC2 instance. How can I do it? So I open my instance. So here this is this. So just imagine this is the small one. This is actually my Git console and this is actually my server console, which is Bitwise. Now what I will do, I will see what is there. Nothing is there. So I actually will be pull the code from GitHub to the server. Again, I am repeating, I will pull the code from GitHub to the server. So what I will do, I will simply write, I will go to my here, I will simply copy it, the URL. I will write git clone and then so it asking me my username. I put my username and it is asking me my password. So right now, we cannot write the password. So we have to have like a GitHub keys. So I copy that my GitHub keys and I paste it here. And as soon as I paste, project folder been uploaded. I can check it out if it is done. So I put ls. Yeah, I see my node project is there. So I gone inside of that and I do ls and I see the all files has been uploaded to my server. Now I do simple npm install. As soon as I do npm install, it will start the project. Start the npm packages to install. If I do now ls, I will see npm node module has been installed. That is, when I will create a node project in front of you, I will show you, I will tell you in details that what node module and stuff. So right now node module has been installed here. Now, if I do node index.js, it will actually run the project. Let me see if it is running or not. So this is my IP and my project actually running on port number 4000. How can I understand it? So if I go to index page and I will see here port number 4000 is there. So if I reload it, I will see hello world is printing here. So my project from local, I have complete upload to the server. So now if I want to change something to my local system, hello world, this is my first project. If I do it, and then I will push the code to here. As soon as I push to the here, and in the Git, I will simply go and put like git pull origin master, and again I have to give my username, and I have to put my password, which is a secret key. And as soon as it's done, I have to one time run the server again. And then if I go here, if I refresh, it is working. Now problem is that what is happening, like if I press Ctrl C and want to run any comment, and if that time I refresh the page, I will see page is not working. So anything, every time I have to keep note index.js, and then only started server comment is printing, and then only it is opening. Otherwise it is not. How can I automate this? That I can do other tasks as well, but also I have my code should run. And even if I close this one, in that case also it should run. Anyone have ideas that how can I do it? Anyone have any understanding?
Sir, can you repeat again?
Yes. So right now what is happening, like my server is running. If I press Ctrl C and try to run any other command, then if I refresh it, it will not run actually. Again, I have to press my command node index.js and I hit it, and then automatically it will refresh. So basically, if I close this one as well, let's say I close this one, and if I run it, it will not run. This is a problem, right? Because if every time I have to open that, so I cannot close my system. I have to make my system 24 hours on to run any project.
Maybe we could use AWS to automate that.
No. Anyone has
Or-
any? Please tell me what we can do. Okay, so I'm repeating it. What we can do in that case. So I go here. I have to type it again, like node indexed.js, and again server started, and I can refresh it. There is very important point, and this questions many times comes to the interviews as well. If you are going for a node and things like that, what is PM2? Process managers. So we can actually install the process manager who will handle the process by themselves. We don't need to take care of it. So for that, what I can do, I can simply install the process manager. So sudo npm I for, this is like global install. So I for install, you can write install or you can write I as well. So I write I, and then there would be a -G for global actually. So this will install globally to all the servers. So if you are deploying any other node project there, you don't need to install the process manager. If you just press, if you don't put -G, then it will just install locally. So I install it, the process manager. I done the process manager. Just a simple right now npm start, and I can see it's running. If I refresh it, you can see my project is running. No problem is there. Now if I close it, then also I will see my project is running. There is no issues. So I go here, then I go that particular place. So I don't need to control it. It will automatically will run. I don't need any 24-hour online, nothing. Now if I want to stop it, simply I want to stop it. So I will do like node npm stop, and it will stop the process. And if I run it, now this will not work. So again, I want to start it. Simply I write npm start. It will start the process. And if I drop my server or anything, if I close my windows, if I write some other comment, nothing will happen. It will not having a change. So this is called a process manager. Also in the process manager, you can check the status. So write PM2 status. You can see if there is any problem in PM2 status, you can check it out that what the CPU utilization status is online, what's memory been allocating, everything you are getting into the PM2 status. So node process manager, this process manager is very important, and you need to make sure that you are utilizing the process manager. Then only you can actually successfully run the project. Understood what I am talking about the process manager and stuff? Up to that, any questions? So what I did, I am again repeating this process one time mode. I will repeat for your benefit, but just I want to brief what I did. I simply created a node project into my local, or my project was there in my local. Then I actually uploaded to the GitHub. And once I uploaded to the GitHub, from there actually I pull the code to my server, and there I install the node and npm, and then I run the code. Then later I did the process manager installation, and once I install the PM2, so once I install the PM2, then my code been automated. So if I mean my code will not have any issue, like if I cross that particular windows or if I run any command, then also my server will start running, and it will continue to serve my customers. So that's the points so far I did. Any questions so far, or any places you are having any issues of understanding? Please inform me. I will because this process very nice to understand, because if you understand this process, then it will be actually great benefit for you. You can easily run any project, you can easily deploy any code, and then it will be an added advantage for you. If you're not understanding, feel free to say that I haven't understand this process. I can one time repeat it. Anyone have any issues?
No, sir.
Okay, it's absolutely well. So I right now will do like npm stop, and I stop all the process, and now this process has been completed. So now I have stopped my server actually, but still if I open that, so my Nginx page is opening. Okay, now what I will do, I will one time show this full process, how to create node and things, and how we can automate the system. Right now what I did, if I change anything to my server, I have to again and again pull the code, and I have to open these windows and I have to pull the code. So I one time again want to show you one thing, like if I just do like npm start, and like I do here 4000 port, and my project is running. Now if I have to change anything, then let's say if I run here a command like Techno Exponent, and if I push my code, then only it is not reflecting here. It's not reflecting here. This is actually complicated. I can't see anything here. So what I have to do, I have to go here. I have to write the code like git pull. So I will go here. I will write git pull origin master. Then again they will ask me every time my username and password. And as soon as I do it, now if I refresh this one, I have to one time run the npm stop and npm starts. So npm stop, and then I do npm start. And then if I refresh, I will see the Techno Exponent. So isn't a long step I have to do? Just think in a real life situation. You are working in a multiple projects, and you have to change any code. You have to go into a server. You have to pull. You have pushing your code to the GitHub. Then you have to open the server. You have to pull the code. Then you have to stop npm. Then you have to start npm, and then you have to reflect it. Let's say in a day you are changing 8 or 9 times in the code base and with an extensive work pressure. So these steps are really burdensome, and these steps maybe you do some mistakes and you don't understand what the problem is happening. So always it's the mess around your projects and things. So how we can automate the system, that's my goal to show you today, which is complex, and maybe not enough tutorial is available for that, but I will want to show you very straightforward and easy way that you guys can remember and you guys can install it and utilize it. There are few tutorials available, but just tips you need to understand properly, then only you can do automated way how we can deploy my code base to the server. So what I will do next step, I will want to push my code base, and then I want to see reflect into the browser. So right now this is, if this link someone click on that, and they will see this page. I want to show you send you into the chat. So just a moment. So let me give you in the chat. So I give you the link into the chat, and if you open it, you actually will see this page. Now, what I want to do, I want to automate the system. So automate system, what I will do, I will simply push the code base. I will not pull, I will not give username, I will not give password, nothing. Simple, I need someone to automate my system. As a developer, I will simple push, here I will simple change something into my, into here, and I will push my code and it will upload to the server. That's the goal point I want to create. So let's see how we can do it. Just remember the step properly. It will help. It will be helpful for the future. So first of all, I delete that instance, and I want to create a fresh instance for you. It will be helpful for you. So I terminate this instance completely. So this is actually I'm doing to help you to see few times that how we can create the instance and thing. So I terminate this instance, and I will launch a new instance. So automatic deployment. And then I select Ubuntu. Free tier is there. I will select the security group. Nothing else I need to do. I simply launch the instance here. So I go to the instance here. It's showing pending. Automatic deployment instance is pending. So I need to wait some time to check it out, whether it is doing all the activity or not. It can take 1 minute max to max, but it already been ready. So I will simply copy this one, and if I click on that, what will happen? Please tell me. If I now hit that instance, what will happen? This IP, if I hit, any one of you can tell me that what will happen? Guys, tell me what will happen, because I showed you number of time about it. Simply, it will not run anything because there is no steps been there.
Subject is replying, we get the page.
Yes. So now next what I will do, I will simple connect it to my Bitwise. I logged in here. I simply create on that. I clear this window. And the same step what I did before, like I will install the Nginx. This is my code. I did these steps 2 times for you, just to you understand and you remember this. So nothing, I just did like upgrade and update my system. Then I will be using here again the Nginx web server. So let it to be complete the full process. It's been done. Now I will simply update, install the Nginx. I did it. Once I install the Nginx, so I see the Nginx been installed. And if I open this one, so I can see the welcome page of Nginx. Now again, I will go to the home page. And I come here. Now next step would be like to install the Node.js. So I shown you the step simple. So 18 version of Node.js I will be installing here. So I did this way. Then I will do simple sudo apt install Node.js. And I will check the Node version right now. So my Node has been installed here. Now what I will do, I have a project already in the GitHub. So this is my project already in the GitHub. So this project, I want to automate it. That simple thing. So what I will do here, I will simply go to the action and I will search Node. I will see Node.js configuration. Just remember this step. You have to go to the GitHub. Then the project's been deployed. You have to go there. Here is my code base. Here is my code base. I go to the action. Then I search simple Node. I hit it. I get the Node.js. I click on configure. And then some of the steps I need to do it. So what I will do it. So here is, I will try to little bit explain you what those every steps is there. So that might be helping you to understand it. So here is actually push and pull. So if I push any code and if I pull it from master, then my action will run. But for now, I'm removing the pull one. But real life cases, you can keep it. So only if some push happen, then this action file should run. This action file also, here is the portion like run on. So that is like self-hosted. We are not Ubuntu latest or something. We are just doing it in a self-hosted. So self-hosted. Now, which is the Node version you want to check it? 14, 16 and 18, 3 version available. We don't need to check 3 version, just 1 version is enough for me. But if any cases you have to do it in a 2 or 3 version, that you can do it. I just deleted the rest version, only kept like a 18x. Those everything is fine. Now here, what I will do, I will first, you remember that I was doing npm start, npm stop. So I will do here first npm stop if present. So it's a condition. If present, then put npm stop. If not, then this action will not work. And another action I will add run :npm start. So this I have been changed to there. So the line is there, npm run build if present, npm stop if present, if there is any program is running, so npm stop, and npm, then by default npm will start. So because to run any node project, we first need to stop if any, because in PM2 we first need to stop it and then we start it. So if present, so stop, if not, then it will simple start it. And then I put start commit. This is the step 1. Then I will go to settings and I will make a runner actually. So I will go to the action and I will create a runner. New self-hosted runner. I click on that. This is actually in Linux runner. I need to create it. So now I have to give the permissions to the HTML to create folder here. So I just simply write sudo chmod 777 HTML and I go like cd HTML ls. So now I have the runner now. So nothing to do here. I simply select Linux and I copy paste into the terminal. Nothing more I will do here. No magic. Simple, whatever written I will copy paste here and I will explain one by one what I am doing it. So simple, I create that. So I am creating a directory called action runner and I'm inserting to that directory. I go inside of that. Second thing I am doing, again I am creating some of the tar file for the Linux. I copy this particular code, I paste it here. It uploading. I will let it to be happen and I will go to the next step. Copy that one as well and I will paste it and insert. I will go to the next one. If you don't understand this, no problem. You just copy paste the thing. Because this is nothing to understand mostly, just you can do it. But in details understanding, we sometimes tell in details. But right now, just I am copy paste the things. So this is whole thing I downloaded. Now I am doing the configurations. So I copy this code and I will run it here. They will ask you some of the portion question. So if you want to create any group name, so you can keep it, otherwise just press enter. If you want to put any runner, it's fine, otherwise press enter. And this is also you can press skip. Now your runner successfully added. If you want to working folder is _work, so nothing to do, you simply press that. And after final things, you simply run this one. Your build started. Let me check what happening here. So I go right now to the action again and check it out. I can see like a action has been started creating the Node.js YML. Let me a little bit check to the going to the folder what is happening. So I open another terminal to check it out. Cd var you can see action runner has been there. So I go to the action runner. Then you remember there is a work directory. So I go inside of that and I see my project, I will see the same folder again. Then I go here. Okay. So now what I will do here, I will now everything been set it up. I will not change anything. Simple, what I will do, I will go to my local directory and I will pull all the code from the server. Git pull, I mean for my GitHub actually. I pull the code. Now I close it. I don't need it as well. So I open actually simple my this folder and I refresh it. This is my working directory. Sorry. This is my working directory. Let me check what is there in my working directory. Okay, this is my working directory. Now, if I want to change something, let's say I go back to the hello world. So right now, what is showing into the browser? Guys, one time open this URL. Let me one time open this URL. Want to give you this URL. What you are seeing it. Just everyone, please quickly hit that particular URL and tell me what you are seeing. Are you seeing this? Please hit that URL I have sent you in chat. So are you seeing this one, right?
Yes, sir.
Everyone
We are
see-
seeing this one.
Yeah, you are seeing this one. Absolutely correct. Now I will not do anything. So I will simply delete this particular thing. And I can use this terminal as well. I open this terminal. I will do like git add, git commit -m, git push origin master. Now I will go to my GitHub action to see what is happening. So I go here, I refresh this page, I click on that, I'm seeing build is happening. Let me check what is happening here. And let me see what issues coming. You will see here if green, so green will happen. If red, so red will happen. Green means the job will be completed. It's green. Refresh it. You see the changes happened. Refresh the same link. I didn't change anything in the server. I skip all the steps what I did before. Right now, I will not do anything. I will just simply change something here and it will start running. So I write like hello Techno Exponent, hello world Techno Exponent. I simply save it. I push my few comment. Simply I did it. I will not do anything. I will go to my GitHub action and I will see new action been created. You can see again it's new created. Just simply wait and see what is happening. If there is a red, so there is an issue, we will debug it. Still, if you refresh this page, you will see hello world. You see hello world Techno Exponent has come. This is still in action. It's completed. You refresh hello world Techno Exponent has come. So whatever you will change now, you don't need to do anything. It auto deploying is happening. It's not magic, guys. You interact with me that now you can ask me a question how it is happening. This is actually called CI/CD pipeline, which actually happen to the industry every time. And I can assure you, if any one of you understand properly and implement in real life, he is 100% sure any company can grab that person because they know almost everything into the CI/CD pipeline and GitHub Actions. Tell me if you guys have any doubt about it, that how it is happening. It's simple, like whatever right now you just understand like what the task easy. So if I write down here anything seminar and if I save it, and 3 line I have to do: git add, changes, and git push. And I will simply come here and wait my web page is what my web page is doing. Just for the sake of your purpose, I am showing here what the background action is happening. Yeah, I will come back to you, Sharnendu, to your questions about it as well. Like what the multiple people is working. So I simple working on that. I refresh the page. It will take some time until unless it's complete. So I had written here like Hello World Techno Exponent seminar. It's completed. You guys refresh the page. You will see it has come. Now, if multiple people is working, this is a good question. Like how multiple people is working on it, then what will happen? Actually, there is no such issue will happen because we actually merging the, whatever I am doing it, the action actually pointed to the master domain. If you see here, this YML file, you can see I just only kept the master, that particular branch. Any branch I can keep it down, master or anything, but I have put master branch. So if I go here, so if multiple people are working, so multiple people will be creating their own branch. And once it push to the master, then it will actually start working on it. Because this GitHub action should only work with the master branch, because every time you are not going to see your change reflect into the server. You actually will see your change reflect to the local. Now once you will be merging it to the master branch, then actually GitHub action will turn on and you will see the output. You don't need to do anything else for that. That's called a GitHub actions. I hope Sharnendu, you clear your answer, right? So we will do only for the master branch this action, or a particular branch where it's important to have. Like it's not necessarily master branch, any branch it can be, from where actually the deployment will have. So TL actually will be the responsibility to merge the code into the master branch. So normally industry it happens like a lot of people working in the different branch, but the TL who is the team lead, they actually will merge all the code to the master branch and it automatically will deploy. So whenever you are merging anything onto the master, it will automatically deploy. Guys, you have any questions related to this? If you have any doubt, please let me know.
Sir, can you repeat the GitHub workflow again?
Yeah, sure. Sure. So I can little bit tell you the steps what you need to do. So you have to first go to the GitHub actions, and then you have to select. Right now this GitHub already I have completed it, but if you create the new workflow, so you have to search whatever the project you want to deploy. For me, like Node I have deploying, so I will click on that. You can deploy Python, whatever. Now you have to go to the configurations and you have to follow some steps. So what the steps you have to follow? You actually have to, there are pull and push. You can keep both, but for security, because if you are pulling to the master, then also your code can deploy. So better like only have push, because push means you know what you are doing. Now this is the self-hosted I am running on. So I written self-hosted. There are some specific version you want to deploy. So that specific version you will be mentioning here. And then you will be running up 2 comment, which actually we were doing before when I have done with normal uploading what I done. So that time I did npm start and npm stop. That is actually node command. I can tell you what it's doing in the background. So if I see in the package.json, npm start actually pm to start index.js. That is what actually steps we are following. Just we are starting this index.js file. That's it. And PM to stop means just like simple, we are stopping the process. So that's the reason I have written here npm start and npm stop. So npm stop is present. So basically, if your PM2 is start and if you again want to start your PM2, it will not work. So you have to make your PM2 stop first. So PM2 stop is present and PM2 so this is actually PM2 start, sorry, PM2 stop, because npm stop means actually if you go to your code, this is actually PM2 stop all, because npm stop, this comment actually PM2 stop all. And then npm start, like your PM2 is getting start. That's simple follow things we are following. That you need to do. Then you have to go to the settings and you have to create a runner actually. So here is the runner portion. So this is the IPA file has been created. Right now no job is running. If any job is running, so it will show here. So you can create any self-hosted new runner. There's some code you will get. That code actually you need to one time that path flow you actually have to set into your EC2 instance. That I did actually one by one, all the comment I copied and I pasted it. So that's why we just make that particular process flow ready, and I can go to action, and whatever changes I will make here, I can see the changes thing. So if I write something, so whatever comment, so this is why the comment is important. Whatever the comment I will make, it will come here. That's the flow. So imagine I go to here again and I change like here and I do like date today and I saved it. I put it like git add and I put like change date and I hit it and I push that one. As soon as I push and if I refresh this page, I will see the comment change date. If I go inside, I will see one by one steps what is happening. If I refresh it, it will take some time. This is the all step happen. And here if I refresh now, I will see the date is coming. These steps you really need to practice, but it is actually steps which is very important and we work every day into the system. So that specific things I wanted to talk about today's webinar, because this is very important to have actually. Okay, this is the comment. Okay, so this is actually CI/CD pipeline. Now my next thing would be what I said you today. Like I will be simply showing you one node project, how I can create it. So I have a folder called node 1, because I actually had a node project and I just saved to you, but I want to show you how we can create a node project here. That's the important point as well. So yeah, simply I have so I will create here git bus, then I will type npm init. That is, that is a simple node project. You can how you can create a node project and like express project. Sometimes you guys learn it by seeing YouTube and things. So I will show you very straightforward and steps. So like npm init, it's been there. Package name, whatever you want, you can keep it. I kept it node 1. Version, whatever you want. Descriptions, index, test comment, keywords, nothing needs to be given. I press yes and my node project's been started. Now I simply press code start. So this will initiate. So I see this is the package.json is here. Okay, I just remove it down from here so it will be easy for you to understand. Now I click a page because my main page is index.js. So I simply create a page index.js. And in the package.json, I actually will be doing some tasks which I had done before. So this is actually a starter. So I will put like start, and I will do like PM2 start index.js, and then I put comma, and for stop I will do PM2 stop all. So these two things I have put. Now here what I will do, I will actually write some code here. So I will simply go to the npm js, and I will search a package called Express. This is very popular package, and Express is a very popular framework of Node. I click on that. I simply copy this particular line, and I want to install the Express, so I paste it here. Oh, sorry. So $2 dollar has come. I'm making it bigger. So simply I'm installing the Express. Once I install the Express, I will simply copy this code to my page, nothing else. But here I can write something, because this is very, any port you can run, 4000 port I have chosen. But just to make sure like my code is working properly or not, I will simply write some code to understand it. So this is arrow function I will be using. Then I will write console.log, and I will actually run something there. So let's say started server. This is I want to write. So my node projects got ready actually. So I want to run this project. What I will do, I will go to here in the terminal, and I will run like node index.js. So this is not, so port 1000 port is already listening it, because maybe I am using port 1000 something else. So let's say I do it in a 3000 port, and if I run it, let me see what is happening. So your server gets started. So if I go here and run like localhost, my other project is running in port 1000. So hello world been printed. So simple, again I go to my code base, and let's say I put hello world, hi all, and I saved it, and I control C, and I node index.js, and if I hit it, you can understand very simply I can create the instance. Now whatever you want, this is the route. If you type it here something else, and you type it here home, and if you hit here home, oh sorry, I have to run the code once again. So let's say I again run this server, and if I type now home and I hit it, you can see this route also showing hello world all. Now if I change something and write I am in home page, and simply I run the code again, and if I hit it, I will see I am in a home page. And if I simply hit this, so I have two routes now. One is 3000, that is I see hello world all, and if I see home, type home, then I say I'm in a home page. So isn't it easy to learn Node? I see a lot of people, feel too complicated to learn the Node. They take a lot of time to learn the code. But, I believe that if you practice, is very easy way to learn the Node and deploy any project. Node is one of the popular language right now because of it's very lightweight, and you can create API quickly. Man stack, mean stack is one of the important point. And also beside that, if you want to work later on blockchain, so the Solidity is one of the important language, and Node is very Node and Solidity learning structure is very nice. So or similar. So that's the reason Node is very important. Today I given you the Node little bit of ideas because of you guys sometimes face issues that how I can learn Node and things like that. It's very simple stuff you can follow. And then Node and your GitHub actions combinations will really make you hero. So as long as possible, I try to give you understanding. But if you have any questions so far, you can ask me. I can go those. I can give those answers, and I can clear those answers for you. Anyone so far having any questions? Because this is almost there. Yeah, you can have a Q&A session as well, because I believe there is one topic which I didn't cover, but this is simple, like elastic IP. That is, I can show you a little bit and I can tell you what elastic IP is actually. So, elastic IP is there. Yesterday I was showing you, like if I stop my instance and again start my instance, so my IP address is getting changed. So just imagine, like, you are actually stopping your instance and starting it, and your IP is connected to your domain, and every time if your IP is getting changed, so you will face an issue, because every time you have to point to the GoDaddy or whatever your domain is and Route 53, you have to change your IP address. So it's very hectic job. So elastic IP is something which never been changed. So your domain, let's say you stop your instance and start, or your instance sometimes been changed, so it will not having any issue. Your elastic IP always will be static. It will not be will not change anything. That's the reason we do elastic IP. So elastic IP is something which we allocate to any instance, and that instance particular IP never been changed until unless we deallocate that elastic IP with that instance. That's the reason we create the elastic IP. And so once we associate elastic IP to any particular instance, then that particular instance own IP get invalid, and this elastic IP actually become that particular instance own IP. That's the way it works. Now guys, it's time for a Q&A session. So if you have any, so I hope that you should have some Q&A. So you can ask me some of the Q&A if you have, and I can answer those questions one after one. Go ahead guys, I know you have some questions. Feel free, like if you don't understand, session is not that easy to know. I mean, this is something new to you, and this is, long days of my industry work. I can do it, I can perform it very simply, but it's not that simple. So, don't feel it like, and it's just like a 1.5 hours, journey I have done. So don't feel it like, it's too complicated for you. Actually, you need to have a practice. And if you practice node and deployment, I can tell you, like, you never has to look back on it. But I understand that in a short period of time is very hard for you to understand. So that's the reason Q&A session. If you have any questions, if you have any kind of understanding, overall, understanding have related any issue, you can tell me in the Q&A session.
Yeah, I was saying that if CI/CD deployment is like this, then why do we use those kind of frameworks like Jenkins or something like that?
Oh well.
They are somewhere.
Yeah, so basically, they all have different purposes to work on. Okay, so it's not like you actually, it depends on the company structure, like which particular structure you are following, like which structure. Some structure we can use Jenkins, some structure we can use like GitHub Actions. So it depends on the company structure, like what you will be using it. Like there, like, I can tell you, like Bitbucket and GitHub or GitLab. There are a lot of deployments tool there, a lot of version control tool there, and for different reason we use it. So basically, like Jenkins also one kind of CI/CD pipeline tool. GitHub Action also one kind of CI/CD pipeline tool. There is no such demand. Both are actually having the automations. Both are having like like building, test, and deployment. So now depends on your need, you can do it. So imagine like you are looking for a comprehensive CI/CD platform, then maybe Jenkins is your good fit. But let's say you want to define simple workflow, then you can go with your GitHub Actions. Now, if you ask me where I use Jenkins and where I use CI/CD, so mostly Java related project, I use Jenkins, and for Node, React, Python, those projects, I use GitHub Actions. So it depends on the need actually. Maybe I cannot explain you like what is the need of that, because when you've been in an architect point of view, that time lot of factors come in front of you. Based on those factors, you decide what to do. But for the beginner level, you can say like for comprehensive CI/CD platform, we can use Jenkins, which is better fit. But if you want to automate any specific workflow, like note here, I'm automate any specific, I'm just going to automate a workflow. So, and your workflow is defined. In that case, you use like GitHub Actions. Got it, Raj?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyone else? If you guys not have any questions, so probably it's too complicated for you. But if it is also, no worries. It is complicated, but it is very easy to learn. I tried to teach you, as easy as possible. But this is not for a 1.5 hours things. But I wanted to make sure you guys know what is in industry, so you can learn it in the future in the industry. Node.js, GitHub, GitHub Actions, CI/CD pipeline, AWS, those are actually a very important portions of anything. So nothing to shy about, nothing to shame like you couldn't learn it in 1.5 hours. Actually, it's not 1.5 hour course, but I actually wanted to give you an understanding so you guys can understand, and future you can take it out. So basically, you can set the rules. That's the kind of pipeline. So you can actually, there are two things. One is like jobs are there. So let's say you push one code, you change something, and again push one code. So there is a pipeline structure. One after one job is getting executed. Another point is that there is a test-driven development. So now you can write the test cases for specific function to execute. If you write like, okay, this is my program, this is the normal input, and this is the normal output. So if my program satisfy those outputs or those results, then only deploy it, otherwise stop it there. So that way pipelines come. So if you push every time, it will actually continuous deployment will happen with pipeline structure. And second thing is that you can write down your own logic behind it, why which cases it should pass, which cases it should not pass. So this way you can set the pipeline. So if your case getting satisfied, then it will be uploading. If not satisfied, then it not be uploading. So this way we can also make a filter. But pipeline portion you are talking about, because one after one job is getting executed, I was showing there. So that's the reason we say it in a pipeline. But in the pipeline, you can also define like whether it should upload or whether it should not. Okay, guys, now it's a Q&A sessions. I don't know how much you guys can interactively answers, but I will want that everyone little bit try on it and try to get something. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you can Shagnik, you ask a questions like, as a freshers, what we should use like S3 or EC2 in AWS. Okay. So, if you are uploading any static website, then definitely you should upload into the S3. But if you are deploying to the any dynamic platform, then EC2. So actually both you should learn and both you should use. And Sharnindu's questions also I'm learning as a freshers how GitHub and how it will help in the interviews. Okay. So actually, as a freshers, if you put into your CV Node, GitHub and AWS, definitely interviewer will go ask you questions from there. And benefit is that you don't need to, because as an interviewer, I have seen if someone put in his CV GitHub Node.js and AWS, I don't ask him a complex questions, because my expectations happening like, okay, he knows those things, let ask easy questions. So your questions would be easy. I mean, it should be easy. I'm not saying it must be, but it should be, because you know something which other people don't know. That's the added advantage. You know something which other people don't know. Now, as an interviewer, he is finding that this person know many things which actually need in industry, and the teaching or learning session for that particular candidate will be getting less. That's the way, it will be helping, like a freshers. So freshers must need to learn it. Because I have in Techno Exponent, we have many clients in outside of the India and throughout the world. So like in US structure, we find like their students and all, like working professional, the freshers who are looking for a job, they make it mostly ready for themselves, those normal things. Why they do it? Because this is very normal, and as soon as you learn it out, then like you are one step ahead than the others. That's the reason it should be learning. You should learn it, and if you practice it in your daily, programming steps, then it will give you a benefit. Like in future, when you are actually joining to the company, then company will be getting an added advantage. And as soon as company getting added advantage, then you are also getting added advantage. So specifically the DevOps is one of the means DevOps engineers demands is quite high, and also the Node and DevOps combination is quite big actually. In India, if you also looking after, if you check your Glassdoor, a DevOps engineer, a fresh level or mid, little bit of fresh level DevOps engineer salary normally start like 7 to 8 LPA kind of thing. So DevOps engineer actually always in a high demand, because those particular part known by the less people. You can check it out in the Glassdoor actually. Okay, so and Sagnik question also I probably answers, like you can actually need to answer. You can actually need to use like S3 and EC2 both. So because S3 would be for like for static side deployment, and EC2 is like dynamic and server side deployments. That's the important point to know. Okay, and if no more questions, I can go some Q&A session from my end. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, moving on to my first question, which I said in the last, like, what is elastic IP and where we will be using it? If anyone can answer it. Sorry, your voice is breaking, Raj. Sorry, I can't hear anything. Probably you have a network problem, rain or something. Yeah. Go ahead, anyone. Sagnik. Yeah.
Sir, there will be one is when we stop the instance, the IP address will be changed there.
Correct.
So for this reason, the IP will not change. That's one.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. So that's the reason we use like elastic IP. Now tell me, like what exactly how. Okay, so tell me if you remember how I simply upload my code to GitHub, and from there how I can upload my code to the server. Just if you can say me some of the steps, I will be happy. How I can upload my code or push my code to the GitHub, and from there how I can deploy the project to the server.
Sir, first we can use Git init. First we will create a repository. Then we will in the GitHub. Then or we can actually do that in terminal, like writing git in or something. Then we will add the files, whatever the files we have using git add command. Then we will directly stage, or maybe you can just skip that to git commit -m and the commit message that we have. Then we will push, no, not push, but actually, we will add the origin. I mean, if we have created any, on the GitHub, if we have created a repository and then we want to attach that to our current repository, then we will do, git remote origin.
Perfect.
And the link. Then we will push that to the whatever branch we have created. Then we'll push that on the GitHub. Once that is done, we will go to our development server where we have actually the server is loaded. We'll go there and then we will say git pull and the link of the repository.
Yeah, perfect. Then
we will add our username and GitHub password or some kind of
secret
ID or
key.
something.
Yeah.
And then we will it will actually pull the repository from there, download everything, and then we will cd that repository. And if it is a node project, then we will do node npm install or npm I. Then we will just do npm run or npm start. That's it.
Perfect. Almost you made it correct. So Shudip, do you have, you were saying something. Do you want to say something, Shudip, on it?
So no, I don't have the full process. I can't remember.
Yeah, but some of the process you remember, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will be asking the last questions, like that is important. That is from yesterday's topic, if you remember. So in S3, if I upload any static pages and I want to make it into the publicly available or visible, what we need to do actually?
Sir, please can you repeat?
Or change the settings.
Yeah, and
there is a setting that if I'm not, it was ACL or ICL, that kind of setting.
ACL, yeah, correct.
Yeah, untick that.
Okay.
Allow it to the public.
Okay. Well, that's all from my end, guys. If you have any more questions, you can anytime connect me on LinkedIn, because I normally use LinkedIn a lot. Facebook, I've been present, but that's normally handled by my team. But LinkedIn, I normally present. I give it to my LinkedIn accounts to all of you. So anytime if you want to connect and talk more about anything, if I, my schedule always been too busy, but still, like, if you guys want to discuss anything, so you can actually discuss with me and you can ping me. So that's won't be an issue. I will be replying as soon as I will be free. So I hope that you like that session, and I tried to give you my understanding as much as possible. Hoping soon to meet you in future for any session, and if any kind of any kind of things you want to talk, so you can definitely reach out to the team and to me as LinkedIn. So that's all. Thank you. Back to Sharnandu.